Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Sheldon Raymore, and I come from the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, and I am the American Indian Community House Deputy Director. And I would like to welcome you today on Sunday, April the 19th, here to the Sunday census Facebook live stream that we do every Sunday. This is something that we've been doing for the last couple of weekends, and so we make sure that every Sunday you can tune in and catch up the updates of. We got a lot of great programming coming up this coming week. We've got lots of great things that have actually happened last week. The Wellbriety meetings have been very well attended. Those social justice series from Shinnecock Nation, that screening and that panel, that was awesome. That was on last week's Tuesday, and very thankful that we could have Nadima Agard share her story on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, with the Sacred Spaces, and that, to hear those elders tell their stories, share their stories of their experiences in New York City, their careers, all the different impacts that they've had on many of our lives. So that was really inspiring. So we thank you, Nadima, for sharing your stories and your wisdom. And so if you have yet to get a chance, please get out the count and get counted and take the census if you haven't done so already. We had our last census texting party, which was last week Sunday, and that was awesome. We had a winner, one of our top texters from our volunteers. So thank you to all the volunteers that have come to those weekly texting parties and giving of your time. And so we have something special for you to thank you for that. So look in the mail for that. Lots of great things coming up this week. Today we had the Sacred Spaces that was from noon until 2:00, where we had the elders. It's elder led, and it is really a sacred space for them. So that was really great for them to have that. To have that opportunity to come together and talk today. So we've already started off to a great day today, and we're going to keep it going this coming up week. So starting tomorrow, we have Fit Native with Tanis Peranto. Please join her. She's actually giving us 3 sessions this week. She's going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So follow here on our Facebook page as well as our social medias like Instagram. You can catch up, on everything that we've got going on this coming week. So definitely check that out. That's going to be tomorrow, as well as we have our Wellbriety meeting. That's going to be. It's more about medicine teaching. So we really want to stress that to you. It's also folks that are in recovery. You don't have to be in recovery to attend those meetings, the medicine wheel teachings. But you really learn a lot. You're getting all this wealth of information. And so what we do is this week we've got 3 of them. We've got Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so what you can do is just tune in. What we do, go ahead and shoot us an email, or you can, I'll put my email in here, or you can just message us of what programs you're interested in, and then we can get back to you and send you the information. So those Wellbriety meetings, we meet on Zoom, and so what we'll do is we'll release the credentials a couple hours before the actual meeting. So if you haven't checked it out, we have 3 of them this week. Again, that's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and those are going to be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and that's just a 2-hour window. And so they've been going really well, and we get a good crowd on that. So definitely check that out if you're able to. And then also check out this coming Tuesday, which is the Social Justice Series. This will be our 3rd installment of the Social Justice Series. This is led by Tatiana Benali. She's one of our census staff team members, and this week is going to be about the Wampanoag and all of what's going on up up there up in Massachusetts. So definitely check that out. It's going to be a screening and a panel discussion. And I know some of you viewers, you asked us to cover that topic, and it was actually a couple weeks ago. And so we take everything, all these times that we do these live streams, we're always taking your feedback and we incorporate it into the programming. So we listen to you. So please go ahead and feel free to share your comments here, and also any suggestions or anything for programming that you like, or if you're interested in attending certain programming, go ahead and drop us either an email here, or you can send us a message through Facebook and we'll get back to you, or you can email us. Also, if you're not on our MailChimp, which is our that's how we communicate with the whole thousands of people in not only New York City but the surrounding areas. That's how we all kind of stay connected through our emails, and that way you can subscribe to that by shooting us an email as well, and we'll add you on to that. So definitely check that out. So again, that's Social Justice third installation. That's going to be about the Wampanoag. Definitely check that one out. That's going to be this Tuesday, and if you get a chance, we have a Facebook event page. You can go on there and RSVP. There's a link for you to register for that, and then you'll get the Zoom credentials, and then you can join in on that. So definitely check that out. We're really looking forward for that. Definitely the Fit Native. And also we have a very special guest this Wednesday for the Sacred Spaces. We have Vicki Williams, which is going to be led with Ty Defoe, Zoonida, and Ojibwe. That's going to be Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m. And Vicki Williams is going to be sharing stories she wrote during this COVID-19 pandemic. And so if you get a chance, definitely check that out. Like I said, last week, Wednesday, was Nadima Agard, and this week will be Vicki Williams. So that's Wednesday from 5 to 7. Definitely check that out. And there also is a maker session for those of you. We've been getting all these requests from folks that they want to do, they would like us to sort of teach you some techniques. And so we've got our executive director, Yakuine Oaks. She's going to be leading that, and it's a beading circle and a maker session. And that's going to be on this Friday. It's going to be from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. So definitely check that out. And also on the weekends, next weekend coming up is going to be Saturday and Sunday, 12 to 2 p.m. Check that out. It's going to be the sacred spaces for our elders, and that's their time to come together and talk. So at this time, I'm going to kind of read some of your comments that you've wrote here, which is like the wild variety is good for the soul. It definitely is. I really look forward to the last couple that we had last weekend and the week prior to that. But, again, this week we have the lucky number 3. We have 3 of them this coming weekend. So definitely check those out. And I see some of community members are on here. It's good to see you all. See, look, this is great. We all stay connected even in quarantine, right? So that's why we felt it was so important for us as the organization to do these Facebook Live, because we do have, we communicate in many different ways. There's a lot of moving parts to this organization. We've got a lot of volunteers, but we also got, staff members that are always here. And so this is so pivotal to do these Sunday one-on-ones with you, because the reach we have on our social medias is really far. So this is our time to engage with one another. So I really look forward to these Sunday updates and all of that, what's going on out there. Some of you, I don't know if you've been, the last weekend I was kind of showing you the masks. That's now that seems to be like pretty mandatory everywhere. Everyone has to wear the mask to go into all the stores and all of that. So that's a new update this week. That's something new, right? Like before it was like you had a choice to whether to or not. Now it's definitely mandatory. So definitely make sure your face is covered when you're out there. Continue washing those hands and going through all your rituals that you do. Some of you may wonder what's going on with this. I know in Native cultures it's symbolic when somebody cuts their hair. Maybe that's a symbol of mourning. That's actually I fortunately do not have a close family member that has passed away, so I'm not in mourning. But somebody asked me, like, what happened? Why did you cut your hair? And truth be told, I cut my hair because I could do it myself. Here we are in quarantine. You can't go to the barbers anymore, so that's kind of why I just did the buzz cut. But that did come up, and I just wanted to sort of share that with you about the hair and the symbolism behind when somebody cuts their hair. So, but there has been deaths in the community. I won't share the names of them, but they've been out there, and so our thoughts and our prayers. We're going to be live streaming the Mashpee Wampanoag on Facebook. And Tuesday, that's going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. And yeah, exactly, Walter. I have no hairdresser. I've been my own hairdresser. Oh, thank you, Tanis, with the buzz. But yeah, very militant, right? Military, right? Yeah, you're welcome, Ryan. And so we're also looking forward to the upcoming census. We have some things in the works where we're going to be reaching out to the community for more. We're actually working on sort of like a little bit of a campaign, an in-house campaign for the census, like Native specific around the census. We were some media that's out there, and so that's currently in the works. So hopefully by next week, this upcoming week, you'll see something that we're going to put out there for the U.S. Census, and so definitely check that out or look forward to that. And yeah, that's pretty much for all the programming that we've got this week. And so far, have any of you that are watching taken the census? Because if you haven't, what we have the link that we're going to put here in the commentary, and definitely get that out and take it, because the census is so important for us to be counted as Indigenous people. And there's it not only does it filter into funding, which is going to help support programming that is going to affect our community, but it also just as us as Indigenous populations would like to know if New York City still has 110,000 natives, Indigenous folks, have we exceeded that? And the last census, which was in 2010, 60,000 of those were Indigenous, Mexican, South American Indigenous folks, Indigenous, and then the other 50,000 was United States, American, Native American, American Indian, Alaska Native census counts, when that was like about 50,000, and that was in New York City. So together there was a combined 110,000. So we want to know, 2020. Regardless of everything that's going on right now, we want you to get out the count, take the census. It's super important. Those records are important. It's 100% safe. Your information is confidential. It's not shared with a third party. So if you get a chance, definitely check that out. And Tanis is writing something on here. She's saying, who watching right now has done the census? 10 questions and 10 minutes that determines the next 10 years. That is absolutely right. Oh, good job, Ryan. You took it. Good. Kevin, hi. Good to see you, Kevin. Kirsten, nice to see you. Welcome to this Sunday, these weekly updates and the census here at the American Indian Community House. These are something that we do every Sunday, and it's just really our time just to get together as community here on social media. If you're not doing, you're not doing much. Last week was Easter Sunday. We still went on, we still had this going, so we can look forward to this every single Sunday. And for those of you that are looking to powwow still, we've got that social distance powwow that's going on online. That seems to be doing pretty good. And usually what I'll do is I'll just ask folks questions like, we asked one, did everybody watching have you taken the U.S. Census? And if not, take the census, and we'll put the link here for you if you haven't got a chance to do that. I took it. It took me like maybe not even 5 minutes to do. It was super fast, and so here's a fun fact. The census. So we were looking at different tribal nations in the country who have translated the U.S. Census into their indigenous languages. And one of those, actually the only one on the national census has been Navajo Nation. So Navajo Nation actually took all of the media that was for the census and they translated it into their language. So what a great way for language revitalization. So that's been really cool. So I'd like to share that fun fact with you. But I was watching Nadima Agard when she shared her story in the Sacred Spaces. And, one of the things she was saying is how important the census is to take, because she was able to find out some of her family's history through the census records. And that is very true. And that's why it's so important to get out there and take the census. And if you haven't, like I said, get out there and do it. And, you haven't. So we'll definitely get the link. I'll send the link to you personally so you can get it, both of you. Hi John, nice to see you. Deja, nice to see you too. So what's another thing that that some of you folks out there would like to know about the American Indian Community House and sort of what's going on right now, or where we're going with the future and the directions, of what's going to happen in the next couple of months. As we know, the extension has been they've extended the stay at home until May 15th. So we're looking at, mid-May. But we'll just keep these interactions going no matter what. Because I definitely don't think that even if they do open it up, there's still a lot of folks that are probably going to be staying at home, still are quarantining, quarantine themselves. Or if folks, so that's definitely something to take into consideration and think about. We're going to keep this medium as far as communication open, of like Facebook Live, social media, streaming, or even these Zoom meetings, right? So that's like a new thing for a lot of us to learn that technology. And actually, it's interesting to bring that up, because during the Sacred Spaces with our elders, that's been something we've had to do with them, is to teach them these new media and these new ways of using that media for us to stay connected. And so that's definitely a part of this, has been just the education part of it. But once you get it, it's pretty easy, like just to get on the Zoom. Sometimes I found that with Zoom, you can also, if you enable your camera, if you don't want to be on screen, you can also call in and it'll just show up like as a black screen. So for those folks that know somebody who would like to attend the Medicine Wheel teachings, which are going to be this coming week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you can definitely enable your camera before you join the Zoom, and you can also change your name. You can rename yourself. You can edit if you want to put like a photo up that represents something that you like. You can do that too. So definitely I might have to, maybe what I could do is help folks who do not know how to use Zoom come up with like a little either we'll share on our page like a little tutorial on how it kind of works, just so folks could be more aware of that, because definitely the Zoom has been a very important way that we've been keeping together. Thank you, American Indian Community House, for posting the link here. It's 2020census.gov. Go there. Will there be ever be an Inipi in the future? So an Inipi is a sweat lodge, and we were able to find a location. I can't really disclose where that is on here, but that is something that we were in hopes to do this over the summer. was get something set up with that. So I'll have to get back to you about the sweat lodge, the Inipi, and more about that. So you taught an old Tanis says, I taught a 90-year-old elder, Gloria, how to use Zoom on her iPad. I know, that's awesome, right? And she seems to have done pretty well. For those of you that missed the sacred spaces, you can go back and watch them too, because we have them shared not only here on our Facebook Live, on our Facebook page, but you can also go on our YouTube channel. So those of you who have not subscribed to the American Indian Community House YouTube channel, definitely go on there, log in, create an account if you don't have one, and subscribe, and you'll get all those videos as we post new and updated ones. So I got the American Indian Community House. If you completed the census, you can help us out by completing this super short form here. And there's a Google Doc on there. We have another doc too that sort of confirms if you've done it or not. That just helps us to track it, because we've got hundreds and thousands of people taking the census. So it's really helpful for us as an organization, since we're supported from the New York City census, right? So there's the national census, which is everyone across the whole United States. But then there's also a city census, which is where we're being supported from. So definitely check out these links that the American Indian Community House is posting in this feed, and you can click on those, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. So definitely that's the completed it link that was just posted on here. So when you take it, go ahead and click on that, and that will track that you've done it, and that just lets us know, so we don't bug you anymore, and you've done it, so this is great. Get the count. Let's see if New York City is still the number one highest populated city in the United States with the highest indigenous population, because there's all the different other cities out there, and we just want to know where we stand with it. So definitely check that out. Check out these links, click on them, take the census, and there's so much data that the census is going to help with us when we deal with different statistics, but also just population. Like, we'd like to know, I think like the last census, they were saying there was like upwards from 70% of Native Americans were living off the reservations. And so what's that number now? We'd still like to know that information. Has it shifted? And have folks like went back home, back to their reservations, to maybe they might have felt it was safer during this time. I think like this is such a transitional time in our lives. And so I think that's obviously going to be affected in the census stats and numbers too, right? So those are all just things that we're constantly thinking about. And definitely check that out. Hi, Maury. Nice to see you. Maury, welcome. Welcome to our Sunday Facebook live stream and the census updates. So we were just sharing some of the updates that we've done, the different programmings that we've done around this past week, and the upcoming events that we have this week. So definitely check out Fit Native TV, Fit Native with Tanis Paranto. That's going to be 3 this week. We're looking forward to that. That's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday, check out our 3rd installment of the Social Justice series, and that's with Tatiana Benali, and it's going to be about the Wampanoag and what's going on up there in that territory up there in Massachusetts, and everything going on up there. So definitely check that out on Tuesday. We had a great turnout for the Shinnecock, the screening and the panel discussion. That was just this past week. So definitely we had interest in this. Actually, we had requests specifically for this Wampanoag, all the issues that's going on with them in their territory. So that's why we felt it was so important to cover that, and share that with you. So definitely check that out on Tuesday. It's going to be in the evening from 6 to 8 p.m. And then for those of you that know folks in recovery or folks that just want to learn about some of the medicine wheel teachings, holistic teachings, ways to be balanced and live life in balance, that's for everybody. So you don't have to be in recovery, but have them check that out. That's going to be 3 of them this week, and it's going to be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it's always the same time. It's always going to be from 7 until 9 p.m., and that's a Zoom. So send us your information. You can either shoot us an email, you can either Facebook Messenger us on here, and we'll add you to that list. You got to fill out a quick little survey, and then you'll get the credentials to join that, which is always released about 2 hours prior to the meeting, or around like 3 hours, maybe 4 p.m. that day of. You'll get you'll get an email with all of the credentials that you can go into Zoom. And if you don't have a Zoom account, it's super easy. You can quickly create one, and that'll allow you access to all of our Zoom events and things that we have going on. It's just a lot safer, and that's not only for your protection, but it's for our protection as well. So if you haven't got a Zoom account, it takes you about a couple minutes maybe, and you can create one real quick, and then you can join all of our online programming that we have coming up, which one of the great ones again is going to be this coming Friday. Check out the Beaters Circle for all of you beaters out there that would like a circle, a community of other folks that are like-minded like that. All you artisans, you want to learn some techniques or be able to connect with one another. Know that you're not the only one out there beating right now. It's kind of cool to have that, those different dialogues with each other, conversations, and just inspire folks to keep going. Sometimes we need that extra little oomph or nudge, So there's definitely, that's going to be led by Iakawine Oaks, our executive director. She's of the Mohawk Nation, and so definitely check out that maker session. That's going to be this coming Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. And a very special guest this coming Wednesday, which is going to be Vicki Williams, and that's going to be led by Mr. Ty Defoe of the Oneida and Ojibwe Nations. That's going to be this Wednesday from 5 to 7 p.m. And this is part of that sacred spaces that you all are invited to attend. And these are weekly. This is where we open those sacred spaces up to the general public, and so everybody's welcome to tune in on that. We do a Facebook Live just like we're doing today, and that's on Wednesdays, and that's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. So you definitely have to tune in. Come back on this Wednesday for the Facebook Live from 5 to 7, and you can join in and you can see, hear the stories that Vicki Williams is going to be sharing that she wrote during this COVID-19 pandemic. So it's always great to be able to connect with you all and come here and be a community still. And we're still here, the American Indian Community House, our staff, our board, everybody's still here, and we want to hear from you. So please shoot us, feel free to messenger us on this Facebook, on our Facebook page. We have staff members that are constantly on there, or you can shoot us an email. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also our MailChimp if you have not yet. We will send out those emails, and those emails are great because what we do is we put the flyers in there so you can sort of see the different flyers of the different events we have. What we do is we like to schedule out ahead of time so you can sort of plan your week. If you can make it and attend those events, we send it out usually ahead of time for you to some of them they're RSVP, and some of them are also closed. So again, that's for your protection and ours. So some of them you'll need to fill out a little survey link. But welcome, Adolfo. You live in Canada. That's great. Yeah, that's what's so cool about these lives is we get people from all over the world that tune in. We've got about, I think, 9,000 followers on Facebook. Folks that follow us. So we've got quite a large reach on there. And welcome, Color Me Wampum. Thank you for joining us. This is our weekly Sunday census updates, AICH census updates, where we just go through different programs that we've got going on, community-led programs, some of them, but staff-led as well. And again, I really look forward to these Sundays with you. Check out all these links that the American Indian Community House has posted into this live feed, and wishing you all a very well, healthy, safe upcoming week. Stay strong, lift your spirits up, burn that sage, sweetgrass, whatever medicines you need. So then those prayers are out there for those that really need them, those that are going through it right now during this COVID-19 pandemic, folks that maybe that are infected, our hearts and our spirits, we go out to you. Folks that have lost loved ones during this time, we're here every Sunday. Come back and let's hang out again next Sunday. Sunday 3 to 3:30. It's just a half an hour time of your time, and we get to interact with one another. And I look forward to seeing you all next Sunday. Stay healthy. Lots of love, light, positive energy for you. Thank you. Take care.